barely 18 months ago, Kash Patel said there was a list. Bill Gates is on it, that he was lobbying the government to not disclose the list that Bill Gates was, and that Republicans were feckless for having a majority and doing nothing. And my response to this is, well, sure, I saw that interview by Kash Patel. Again, he's in a t-shirt on a podcast. When he did that interview, Patel was not director of the FBI. He did not have access to the list, whatever that's supposed to mean. A list of what? A list of passengers on a plane, absent evidence of any criminal misconduct? That's different than an Epstein list of people. He did not have access to the list. He was speaking, Patel was, explicitly speculatively. He was saying, are we supposed to believe this, or are we supposed to believe that, or can't you imagine that this might be the reason this is happening? And that's all fine. We're all allowed to speculate. We're all allowed to try to make inferences from the evidence available to us. But speculation and inferences are not evidence. And none of those statements in that interview were presented by Patel as, I know for certain that this or that or the other thing. None of them were based on what he claimed to be personal knowledge. He wasn't making those claims. Viva writes, throughout his career as a commentator and analyst, Dan Bongino implored his audience to never give up on the Epstein story, that there's something much deeper in there, that it involves intelligence, Middle Eastern countries. And my response is, well, that's similar to the Patel. Bongino, he was not in the FBI. He had no personal access to these documents. He was speaking as a podcast commentator, as an analyst, not as someone with personal knowledge. He may even have been right. Everything he's saying could be right. Everyone might be right. Viva might be right, that there's a huge cover-up that was happening. But in July 2025, when Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and Dan Bongino have to make a decision about whether or not they have the evidence required to prosecute someone, they either have that evidence or they don't. Or you believe they're lying about it. But what they need is actual evidence of criminal conduct. Speculation and innuendo and inference won't do it. It's quite possible that the evidence was obliterated before those three people assumed the reins of power and had access to these files. In which case, no matter what actually happened, and the worst could have happened, the deeds, the cover-up, all of that, the blackmail, all of that could have happened. All of that could have been real. But unless Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and Dan Bongino have evidence of that now, there's no prosecution to pursue.